Greetings, everybody.
นมัสการเจ้าค่ะ
Hello, guys.
Facebook not live yet, huh? Facebook.
It's going ครับผม let's see yeah it's ready ครับ
It's ready. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, live Facebook live is on. 31 people watching Facebook right now. Welcome everybody to our weekly Zoom meeting. Everybody is welcome. Today somebody asked, can Bhikkhunis, Theravada Bhikkhunis join the meeting? Yes, anybody, monks or bhikkhus, bhikkhunis, lay people, whoever is interested in the practice of the Buddha's teaching, especially meditation and vipassana. Everybody is welcome. So let's begin our first question from Sajal Ka, Silver Spring, Maryland. How are you, Sajal? Okay.
I am well, thank you, Thanajan. Thank you very much.
You got
my
any
question?
Okay.
Yeah, my question will be this: that you always teach, saying that the body and the mind or the chitta are separate. Now, my clarification needed is this: that when you do the fasting, or when you control your food intake, the sloth and torpor is reduced, and that is conducive to meditation, which involves the mind. So mind and the body then becoming connected in a level. So I want you to speak to that.
Well, sometimes the conditions of the body can affect positively or negatively to the mind, especially to the practice. If the body is too comfortable, it makes the mind lazy and contributes to laziness and complacency in the mind. But when the body is in danger or in deprivation, it alerts the mind to the danger and to instill the mind with mindfulness and wisdom and energy in order to protect the mind from the suffering of the body. But if the body is comfortable, well, then the body doesn't cause any hardship to the mind. So the mind relax and take it easy. Like you people living in comfort, you have everything around you, so you don't really feel the need to meditate or to do anything because your mind is not disturbed by the comfort of the body. But as soon as the body starts to become discomfort anytime, then it will start to affect the mind adversely. But if you're not a practitioner of Dhamma, you wouldn't deal with the mind directly. Instead, you would try to get rid of the discomfort of the body by whatever means it is necessary, so that once the body returns to comfort, then it won't affect the mind negatively. But in our Dhamma practice, we want to correct the problem at the source, which is the mind itself. The mind can be separated or not be disturbed by the discomfort of the body if it knows how to do it. And the way to do it is using mindfulness and wisdom to stop the mind from reacting to the discomfort of the body by calming the mind with mindfulness or with wisdom, whichever method one is capable of doing. Mindfulness is the easier way than wisdom. But for some people, maybe wisdom is easier than mindfulness. If somehow the wisdom is to be able to see that the body and the mind are not the same, are two separate individuals. What happened to the body should stay in the body. It should not be transferred to the mind. It should be. It doesn't transfer to the mind. But due to the delusion of the mind that connects to the body, that makes it think that the discomfort of the body also pass on to the mind. So this is why we need to have discomfort in the body, so that it will then have to instigate the Dhamma in the mind into action. With comfort, you don't practice mindfulness or wisdom. But with discomfort, if you're a practitioner of Dhamma, you know you have to get the Dhamma in gear. You have to get it started. You have to be more mindful. You have to be more contemplative of the nature of the body. To teach the mind to leave the body alone. Leave the discomfort of the body alone. And take care of the discomfort of the mind by going to the source of the discomfort of the mind, which is the desire for the body to have comfort. So this, once the mind can stop this desire to have the body to have comfort, because it knows the nature of the body will always, sooner or later, will run into discomfort. And nobody can change or stop that when that happens. So the mind, instead of trying to correct the discomfort of the body, they just leave the discomfort alone. Looking at it as anicca, changing. Discomfort comes and goes. Discomfort goes, the comfort comes back. Then the comfort goes, the discomfort comes back again. On and on, cycle. And no one can change or stop this cycle. Even the mind cannot do that. If the mind wants to control or change the cycle, the mind will have discomfort of its own, which is not necessary. So the mind realizes that the way to protect the mind, not to have any discomfort, is to leave the body alone. So if you haven't yet done any of this thing in the mind, then you want to get it started by creating discomfort in the body. Like fasting or living under austere condition, like monks do, with the bare necessity of life. Not much physical comfort. Living in caves or living under trees, living in abandoned shelter, and try to make do with whatever is available there. And eating once a day, for instance. All this discomfort of the body will then force the mind to develop the Dhamma in order to protect the mind, to keep the mind in a safe and comfort zone of its own. That's why practitioners have to create discomfort for the body in order to stimulate the Dhamma in the mind to get into action. If the body in comfort zone, then there is no need to lead the Dhamma. But in life, you know that sooner or later you will run into discomfort. The body will run into discomfort, and you cannot do anything about it. You cannot stop it or get rid of it. Then you really need to have the Dhamma to protect your mind. If you don't have the Dhamma, then your mind will be in discomfort, in suffering. But if you develop this Dhamma before the real discomfort of the body happens, then when the real discomfort happens, the mind can deal with this discomfort, such as sickness and death, or any forms of deprivation. Okay, is this good enough for you? Why
Yes,
you have to choose discomfort now?
I understand.
Volunteer. You should volunteer yourself for discomfort now in order to stimulate the Dhamma that you haven't yet developed to develop. Then once you have the Dhamma, then you can just live normally. You don't have to create any discomfort for the body. You can just let the body run into discomfort of its own, but you will know how to deal with it when the time comes. But if you don't know now how to deal with the discomfort of the body, when the discomfort comes, it will be too late for you. It's like a boxer. You have to train to box before you go into the ring. If you just go into the ring and train up in the ring, you'll get knocked out the first few seconds. Okay, your opponent is the discomfort of the body, which will come during the time of aging, sickness, and death, or separation from your loved ones, or things, or not getting what you want. You know. This discomfort through your body or through your mind. You know, sometimes your mind becomes delusional and thinks that it can get anything it wants. But when it cannot get, then it becomes sad or disappointed or mad, or angry. So these are the things that will cause dukkha in the mind, in which if you haven't yet developed any tools to deal with it, you won't be able to deal with it at that time when it happens. Okay? All right. Next, Willie from Indonesia.
Good evening, Panachan. I have a question today. If let's say I'm helping somebody to do a tax report, but I'm just doing the technical stuff like keying in the data and submitting.
Can you speak closer to the microphone, because it's not quite clear what you are saying.
Okay, I will repeat. I have a question today. I would like to ask if, let's say, I'm helping somebody to do a tax report, but I'm just doing in terms of technical things like keying in the data and do the submission. But then I know that the data is not the actual data. I mean, like the person is lying on the report. So in that case, am I doing a bad karma?
You are assisting the person to become dishonest, right? That's what you're saying.
Yes. So I'm just helping.
You're supporting a dishonest person.
Yes.
It depends on whether you get anything from your work. If you get something in return, then you're also committing the crime. If you do it without having any benefit from the work you do it as a dana. You won't be committing a bad karma, but it's something that you shouldn't do anyway, because you don't want to encourage or support other people to do bad karma.
I see. Okay, so it's better that I let the person to ask somebody else to help himself or herself.
Yeah, if you know that this person is stealing money from someone, and you help that person, you're also doing the bad karma. If you don't get any benefit from doing this, you just do it out of compassion or metta for that person. You want to help that person. It might not be considered to be a bad karma, but it's still not a good karma to do.
I do it out of compassion. I mean, I don't get anything, just that I don't feel it is right in my heart.
Yeah. So it's better not to do it. Okay. Is that all for you?
Yes, that's all.
Okay. Kenneth from Switzerland. Hi, Ken. Professor.
Hello, Tanajan. Tanajan, I would like to ask about your advice on something that was it was happening during the retreat I was on recently, and after I was there for practicing intensely, maybe for about a week, I found I was quite calm. And then it started happening that some unusual things started happening. So I would, for example, be aware of something that was going to happen in the future. So I would say, this person is going to say this, or this is going to happen. And then it would happen later that day, or maybe the next day. And this happened a few times. It was quite unusual. But I tried not to give any significance to this. I just kind of saw it as a side effect, like a heightened awareness that happens when one gets into a calm state. So my question is that the right way to view this sort of happening?
Yes, not to be I can't think of the word, but to be sucked into it. Just be an observer, just collecting the data, and just and also so that you can also judge your capability, whether it's always true or not. Every time you think of something, and that thing happens, so you can more or less just sort of be like someone who's keep collecting data on the activity of your mind to see how accurate the prophecy is. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
So then maybe you can be a prophet, but you don't want to. But you don't want to use it be considered to be your main goal or main objective. Because being a prophet doesn't help you in getting rid of your defilement anyway.
Yeah.
So it's just like you say, it's like a side effect, a byproduct, a bonus to someone. You know, that's why we say some people might have psychic power from their practice, but don't be deceived to think that they are helpful in your practice for the elimination of your defilement. They don't. So we try to avoid them, or try to not to foster them in any way. Just try to come back and get into calm, get into samadhi, get into upekkha as much as possible.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, this happened, I would say 3 or 4 times. The prophecy turned out to be absolutely correct.
Okay.
But I think I did what you are advising. I found it very, very surprising and interesting, but I realized it wasn't contributing anything very important to the practice. So just observed it and let it go.
That's right.
In normal life, like now, this doesn't happen very much. It's not like I feel I have really.
Like you said, you need to have a heightened you have to have the mind calm to a certain level. Then your awareness might be heightened.
Yeah, that seems to be what happened.
So just know that you have some special capability. That you might be able to use it to your advantage maybe someday.
Okay.
But it's only worldly advantage. It's not the supramundane advantage.
Yeah.
It doesn't stop you from going around the cycle of rebirth or anything like that.
Yeah.
But it might help in the short run. Maybe your house is gonna collapse, so you better not stay in that house during that time or something.
There was nothing so serious as that.
Who knows? Who knows?
Okay, I'll be careful.
Like the one that said foresight is better than hindsight.
Okay, Tanajan. Thank you very much.
Okay, but don't try to. Some people, if they don't have a teacher or someone to tell them, they might think this is something marvelous, something wonderful that they should follow and foster and develop, and so then they can use it. They think in the worldly term, they could use it maybe to help other people. So then they in the end turn and become a fortune teller instead. A soothsayer rather than being a noble disciple.
Yeah.
They end up becoming a soothsayer or a fortune teller. You have some psychic people in the West, right? And sometimes you go to and ask them for their advice. Yeah. What happens to my loved one? They got lost. Will they be okay? Are they gonna come back? And so forth like this.
Yeah.
This soothsayer, they can do this. They might be able to tell.
Okay. So I think.
But they don't help the soothsayer to get rid of the defilement or stop the rounds of rebirth. So be careful not to become involved and use these psychic powers as your main objective. Always look to the cessation of dukkha by the elimination of your defilement as your main objective.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Ajahn.
Okay, you're welcome. Belinda from Singapore. Belinda.
Hello, Ajahn. No question for today.
Okay. Filing from Malaysia.
Good day to you, Tanajan. I have a question on meditation, especially when developing concentration alone by focusing on the breathing. The manifestation of the mind sometimes will make nimitta, may or may not arise. Does it mean the mind is not really calm yet, or it's just a manifestation that we should ignore?
Yes, it means the mind is still not calm, not still. It's still producing these things. So you should continue on focusing on your breathing. Don't be distracted by these things.
Yeah.
Because then you'll never get to the point where you might become totally still.
Yes.
So just acknowledge and then just leave it alone and come back to your breath.
It happens sometimes, but most of the time it will not. So I realize that. Because by focusing, acknowledging, and attention to the manifestation of the mind, the nimitta, it will not go anywhere. It's just like circling around it, and it's not progressing further.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Understand.
All right.
Okay. Is that all?
Yeah, is that all? That's all. Thank you, Ajahn.
Next, Claudia Schweiner from Germany.
Good afternoon from Germany, Tanajan. So I have no questions today.
All right. And I'll go to Philip. Philip, where's your partner from Malaysia?
Good evening, Tanajan. She's taking care of the children.
I see. Okay.
I don't have any questions tonight, but what Kenneth described, I know what he's talking about. Yeah. So there's no questions tonight.
All right. Good. Harry from Singapore.
Good evening, Tanajan. There's no questions from me tonight. Thank you.
Okay. Kek Yang So from Penang, Malaysia.
No question tonight. Yeah.
No question either. Okay. Johanna, where are you from?
Good evening, Tanajan. I'm from Indonesia.
Do you have any question?
Yes, Ajahn, I have one question about defilements. If in this life we try to eliminate our defilement little by little, then I wonder what if in our next life, when we are born in a different family, in a different situation, then can the situation rise our defilement back again, Ajahn, where we have cut in our previous life?
If you just, it depends on how you cut your defilement. If you cut it with wisdom, knowing that it's harmful to you, then it will last. But if you cut it because the condition force you to cut it, when that condition disappears, you might not cut it. So it depends on how you stop your defilement. If you see it with wisdom that is bad for you, then you will always stop it because you know it's bad for you. It produces dukkha for you. But if you just happen to be in a situation where you cannot do what your defilement wants to do, then you stop your defilement that way. But when the situation change and you can do, and your defilement can do what it wants to do, then it will do again. So it depends on how you stop your defilement.
So Ajahn means that we have to use wisdom and contemplate every time about the defilement until we are free from it.
Right. If you want something and you can see that something's gonna end, it's just a brief experience. It will be gone, and then when it's gone, you will be left with dukkha again. If you see like that, then you would then not want to have that thing or that object. So you have to see impermanent, you have to see anatta in the things that your defilement wants. See dukkha, that will follow from going after these things, because they will disappear, they will leave you or gone from you one day. When they are not there to give you what you want, which is happiness, then you have sadness in place. So you need to see the three characteristics of existence in the objects of your defilement wants. Like if you want to have a husband, and you say your husband can change, he can be nice today and he might not be nice tomorrow, or he might be nice all the time, but he might die suddenly or something. Then what happens to you? See, you're left without him, without the happiness, then you will have sadness instead. So this is what you have to see in order to stop your defilement completely, permanently.
Okay, Tanajan, thank you very much
All
for
right.
the advice.
Okay. Next, Kyoyan Dong. Kyoyan from London.
Hello, Tanajan.
Thank you for your teaching. Can you please help analyzing the dangers of a person who is close to death, but cannot let go of the body, but still try clinging to the body?
Well, when you cling to the body, it causes mental suffering, because the mind is creating dukkha by the desire to have the body, not to lose the body. But if you see that there's no way you can stop this body from leaving, from dying, then you just say, okay, let it be. You stop your desire not to have, you stop your desire to have your body with you all the time. You realize that you are losing this body. So it's better just to let it be, let it go. If you can do this, then your mind will then become peaceful and not be disturbed or saddened by the loss of the body. Okay, see what I mean?
Thank you.
It goes to everything, not just the body, money, your job, your possession, people that you love, you cling to. If they want to leave you, and you don't want them to leave you, then you're gonna have dukkha. But if you see that this is the way it is, if they're gonna leave you, you cannot stop them, then just let them go. Then you will have no dukkha. You see the impermanent nature of things, of people. You see the anatta nature. They are not under your control.
Yeah.
If you want to control them, you want to keep them, then you will have dukkha, because they're going to leave you anyway.
Yeah.
All right.
Next question is, I was watching the video about the life of the Buddha, and in there the Buddha thanked 3 women of his in his life: his mother, like his stepmother, his wife, and his aunt, who created, like who did all the bad things for him. And he sincerely thanked her to help him realizing the truth of life. How to thank people who did bad things for you, so that you realize that, oh, it's dukkha, the life is full of dukkha.
Because without them, then there will be no dukkha. So you don't see dukkha. See. With them,
Yeah.
they create dukkha in your mind. They not create, but they stimulate or initiate the dukkha in your mind to come into view, to appear in your mind. Like when I first started this talk with Jakal Kar, we talk about creating discomfort for the body, so that when the body is in discomfort, then the mind will have dukkha, because the mind wants the body to have comfort, to be comfortable. Then you have to stop this dukkha in the mind by developing mindfulness and wisdom to deal with the dukkha that appears in the mind. So anybody who can initiate dukkha in your mind, you should be thankful for them.
And when you have like a painful body, or like something painful in your body, you have to thank that disease or whatever that is.
Yes,
so
like
that,
COVID right now. COVID-19 forced you to stay at home, so you can practice Dhamma. If without COVID, you'll probably be going on vacation, going on holiday, going to weddings, parties, and birthday parties, and so forth. But now you cannot do that. You're forced to stay at home. When you stay at home, you have dukkha. And you're not happy staying at home. In order for you to be happy staying at home, you have to meditate. You have to develop mindfulness and wisdom. So you should thank COVID, really. COVID-19 is really a good thing for the mind. It do good things for the mind. It helps stimulate the Dhamma in the mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right. But you don't have to go thank them, physically thank them or giving them money or anything like that. But you thank them mentally in your mind. Without these people, you will still be complacent. You will still be,
Absolutely.
Yeah, taking things easy. But with this dukkha, with this thing that creates dukkha in your mind, it force you to start to develop Dhamma to deal with your dukkha. All right? So you should not get angry at people who are mean to you or bad to you. You should look at them like someone who help you fight your defilement. It's not them that you have to fight with. It's your defilement that you have to fight with. They just help to instigate your defilement to come up, to create dukkha for you. Then you have to develop mindfulness and wisdom to get rid of your defilement, your desire. So there's no reason for you to get angry at people or things that cause you to have dukkha. You should be thankful for them. Whether they intended to or not, they are actually helping you. Because without them, you would still be lazy. You would not be developing mindfulness or wisdom. Because
I realize that it's anatta.
Yeah.
I cannot, whatever I tell them, they don't listen. So it's really anatta. I cannot do anything.
That's right.
Just accept it.
You do your job, you do your duty. But once you tell them and they don't believe you, then you have done your job. They don't want to follow what you tell them, and that's their business.
Before the final step, I was thinking, oh, I like do this, do that for them, so that at least without me, they can be better off. But now I realize even that maybe it's like actually doing bad things for them because I'm creating the comfortness for them. So probably better just give them the money and then I'm gone. I think that's better than creating some business or whatever for them so that they will be even more complacent and it will be even more difficult to teach them in the future.
Give them too much is not good either. Just give them enough to exist, and then force them to look after themselves by looking for money by themselves, not relying on the money that you give them. Okay.
Thank you.
Next, Monica from Malaysia. Go ahead.
Good evening, Tan Ajahn. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Today I have 2 questions. The first question is, I read a post by Thanissaro Bhikkhu, and in his post, he mentioned about Ajahn, commenting of when we teach somebody and they are not really interested, that is considered idle chatter. How is that so, Tan Ajahn?
Bring one again to the repeat.
Oh, that means Thanissaro Bhikkhu mentioned that, Ajahn had once made a comment saying that when we are trying to teach other people and they are not really interested, that is considered as an idle chatter.
Well, it is useless. So it's like idle chatter.
Yeah.
If your speech doesn't produce any benefit, then it's considered to be idle chatter.
So in that case,
whatever
are
you
we
say,
breaking?
whatever you say, it should be beneficial.
Okay. So if there is idle chatter, are we then breaking the fourth precept?
No, you're not breaking the precept. You're just breaking the higher, what you call samma vaja, the right speech. It's not contained. It doesn't contain in the precept. The precept only deals with that, with lying, not speaking the truth. But the other three is not considered to be in the precept. So you're not breaking the precept. If you have idle chatter, or you speak foul language, or you speak to make people hate each other, these are not good. Considered not to be good speech, not right speech, but not considered to be breaking the precept.
Okay. All right. So this is a final form.
This is samma vaja.
Samma vaja.
If you want to have, you have to have complete samma vaja, then you have to have this form.
Okay. Oh, that's right speech.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Then another question. Recently, I saw your video where somebody asked about your Thai talk, and you mentioned about the 4 requisites of the mind. There is the dana, sila, samadhi, and panya. Is this found in any of the Buddha's suttas?
No. It's just my own invention.
Oh, that's good. Very interesting. Yeah, because I find that
I don't know, that might be, but I haven't read all the suttas, so I cannot really say, but I don't think so. This is something you improvise as a tool for your teaching. Sometimes the Dhamma needs some expansion to make people understand more. So you try to think of something that they can see, they can feel or touch.
Yeah. It's true, it's very catchy. The mind gets very interested. Yeah, it's easier to remember. Oh yeah, the mind needs the 4 requisites as well.
Yes.
So that is a good reminder actually. Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah. Okay. I can use that now because I was thinking about just the body have 4 requisites. Now I know at least the mind also needs the 4 requisites.
That's right.
Yeah. True.
When you're not happy, do some charity. It means your mind is hunger for happiness. So you do some charity. When you give some money away, you feel good.
True. Yeah.
And if you want to be nice, be beautiful, you have to keep the precept. Because people like good people, they don't like bad people. Bad people don't keep the precept. But good people keep the precept.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Thank you so much. Yeah, at least I can fit in the puzzle. So I say where the samadhi comes in. Oh yeah, that is the 3rd one, the logic.
Yeah.
So if the mind is set, then it can go back in.
Right.
Yeah. True.
Okay. And then when you cannot enter the lodging and your mind is still bad, you need to use panya like medicine.
Okay.
To deal with the sickness of the mind. Okay.
Yes. All right. Thank you, Tanajan.
All right. Next, Elderly from Malaysia.
Good evening, Tanajan. I don't have any question today. Thanks.
Okay. Sri and Jack from Vancouver.
Ajahn.
Hello, Tanajan.
Yeah, it's a really good teaching. So, I love that teaching too that Monica talked about the 4 requisites. That's one of my favorite that you give. Yeah, it's really good. And also I love that teaching that you give to QN just now about being thankful to people that instigate your defilement.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good way to look at things. And yeah, good teaching.
Like when I went to study with Ajahn Mahabua, he's my enemy. He always instigates my defilement. He always makes me angry. He always scolds me. He never praised me. He always scolds me. Don't do this. Don't do that. So you get angry. But you cannot show your anger to your teacher. So you have to get rid of your anger. Using mindfulness or wisdom. Then from that time on, you don't get angry at people anymore, other people, because you learn how to control your anger.
Oh.
Okay.
Once you learn it,
then you can apply it to everybody.
Oh, I see. Oh.
Okay. So again, Tan Ajahn, you develop like satipanya.
That's right.
Keep doing that.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you cannot use panya, you just use Bhutto to stop thinking about what he said to you that made you angry. If you don't have mindfulness, someone might say something bad to you in the morning, and in the evening you're still angry at that person. Because your mind still keeps thinking about that person. But if you use mindfulness like mantra, Bhutto, you can stop your mind from thinking about that incident.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. And the worst part is like they want to get back to people, right?
That's right.
Mm. But Ajahn, like I saw in your book, the Long did praise you.
But not in front of me. He never praised in front of me.
Not in front.
Long never praised anybody in front of them. He always praised them in behind them, because he knows that if he praise them in front, they become what you call ego. They can become. They will help to stimulate the ego. Oh, I'm good. Yeah.
So he praised. You only know later. Ajahn.
Later.
Oh.
Because if he prays in front of you, then you won't be afraid of him.
Oh.
Then you won't be mindful when you meet him. See?
It's a teaching method.
It's teaching method. Yeah. He said that every time you pray someone, that someone turn out bad later on.
I see.
Because that person can become complacent.
But we can use it in worldly, Ajahn, right? Like we use a lot in childcare. Like we praise the children when they do something good. But that's worldly sense. That's not like
Yeah. It's okay for the worldly sense of the word, but you want to deal with your dukkha, then you won't do that.
I see. Yeah, that's more related to what you talked to Sajal just now. Sajal.
You want to give them hell. That's what you to do with your student, not give them heaven. Because when you give them heaven, then there's no need for them to do anything. They'll just be smiling and happy. Oh, my teacher praised me. How good I am, so forth.
I see.
But if we tell you you're stupid, then you really have to to do something about it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So if you happen to be going to a forest monastery and maybe study or live with a teacher, don't expect him to give you any praise. Expect him to give you hell. That's what you go there for.
Yeah, now that you explain, I think I understand better, because I heard from Ajahn King's talk before that some of his fellow monks even got hit by the teacher. So at that time I was feeling curious. I thought, oh, isn't teacher compassionate why they hit the monks? But now you explain it, I understand.
They're like the Zen, they're like the Zen masters. The Zen master. Sometimes when you sit and you slouch, you'll get a stick and beat you in the back to wake you up.
Yeah.
I mean, if he did it softly, then you won't learn. See, but if he hit you real hard one time, you won't forget it.
Yeah, that's true. True. Yeah.
So if you happen to decide to go live in a monastery with a teacher, then expect help from him. Expect help from him or her. Then you'll be okay. Then you can stay with it. If you expect anything less than that, you won't be able to stay there.
Okay. Yeah, good to have that expectation. Thank you, Ajahn.
So praise is poison, huh?
Yeah. For the Dhamma practice is poison.
Yeah.
It's like candy. Candy is bad for the body. But bitter medicine is good for the body. Right?
Exactly. Yeah. I got it.
Tan Ajahn, like my questions like for again is like the mind and body connections. So I mean, indeed they have connection, but at the same time they don't have connections. So like when doing the meditations like long enough, then we feel the pain. Then I use like mindfulness so that pain is there but not being affected by it.
Because you don't react to it.
Yeah. So at the same time, like the pain is real, right? So it's in the mind because of feeling, khandhas.
Yes.
And our body connect with mind using vijnana. Yeah. So the only thing when the body and mind separate is when a person die. So that is the final link that the mind will let go. I mean, for noble disciple. So the mind will let go of the body is when that is the final moment. The vijnana stop
Let go, disconnect.
Disconnect, yeah.
The mind let go long before that, even during connection.
Okay. But the disconnect link is when the final moment, right?
When the body no longer functions.
Yeah, no longer function. That is the dying moment.
Yeah,
Okay.
the eye is not functioning, so the vijnana cannot receive any image from the eye. Then it disconnects.
Yeah, so that's the moment that mind disconnect from the body. Okay. Yeah, I always have this like mind. So in this is connected from the five khandhas because of vijnana.
The vijnana is the one that connects the mind to the body.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Tan Ajahn.
Okay. Who's next? Westbury, Paul.
Hello, Ajahn. Yes, good to hear from you. I really enjoyed the talk so far. I have maybe a small question today, but I'm mostly listening in. I was asking about the intelligence of like prioritizing activities that need to be done. So like at work, maybe we need to think 2 or 3 steps ahead, and we need to resolve the thing that's in front of us right now so that we can move on to the next activity. And in daily practice, it's about completing tasks or like ending tasks. But in meditation, can we sit down and just enjoy this moment and not think to end it, but to just enjoy this breath, just enjoy this experience of the body or whatever our meditation object is. Do we also need to keep the resolution in mind as we would in daily life, or do we just bask in the present experience?
you shouldn't be involved with this activity. I mean, you just be concentrating on your meditation object. Because if you don't, your mind will not become calm, and then you will not experience the inner peace. That is far more better than the other type of happiness that you can experience. So if you try to bask yourself in whatever you do, maybe this will prevent you from ever getting into calm, to stillness of mind, to peace. So you don't want to indulge yourself with anything, with any experience. All you want to do is just focus on your meditation object. If you watch your breath, just keep watching your breath, and don't indulge with the experience of watching your breath. Just keep watching.
Oh, okay. So this is not about
right, because indulging is a mental activity that will then prevent your mind to become still.
Oh, it's too coarse. It's not subtle enough.
Yeah, just focus. That's all you need to do when you meditate. You want to get to the real pleasure, which is the inner peace. When the mind becomes fully concentrated and still, becomes still. That's when you'll find the peace from peace. The happiness from peace is much better than any type of happiness.
Okay. Maybe this ties into a talk that I listened to about there's the asubha nimitta, and also sometimes we have the subha nimitta, to find pleasure in the piti and sukha, find the piti and sukha in the meditation. And I'm not exactly sure if that's beneficial or not at the stage. Maybe I should just stay neutral about things and kind of let those things happen on their own. Don't pay it any mind.
Just keep on focusing on your meditation object, and just acknowledge what's happening, but don't give it too much time. Come back to your concentration. Come back to your meditation object. Keep focusing on your meditation object. Whatever happens, just know, and then don't pay any attention. Don't be diverted. Don't be distracted by them.
Okay, so this is all in the kaya, right? All in the body, the tangible object, not the perception, not the way that we're looking at the breath, but the actual breath itself, the air coming in and out, not like the way that I'm seeing this breath.
I'm not sure what you mean. Just don't worry about the way you see it. Just keep watching. Just pay attention to your breath. And then by paying attention, it will steadily calm your mind down. Eventually to complete still, to become completely still. If you keep focusing on your meditation object.
Okay.
Don't do any analyzing or anything at all. Just keep focusing yourself. Don't do any other mental activity.
Yeah. Okay. So it's a very grounding. It's very grounding to just stay with that.
Yes, just stay with that, your meditation object. Use it as an anchor to your mind. So your mind don't drift with the other thing that appears in your mind.
Okay.
Because your goal is to still the mind, to make the mind become perfectly still.
Okay.
That's when you will reap the fruit of your effort. which is equanimity and peace of mind and happiness that is far more happy than any type of happiness.
Okay. Yeah. So basically, take it at face value. Just take it as it is.
Yeah, and let's just leave them alone. Don't pay any attention to them. Just keep watching your breath.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Is that all, Paul?
Yeah, I think that's about it. Thank you.
Am I right calling yourself Paul?
Yes.
That's
Paul.
your first name. Okay. So
Yeah, first name. Yeah, Paul.
okay. From Virginia.
Yeah. I saw that Ajahn Dick was at Bhavana Society maybe last week.
Where at?
Oh, this is Bhavana
Bhavana Society.
Yes, Bhante Gunaratana from Sri Lanka. He is the abbot there. And
the location of the place?
the location is in West Virginia. It's in Highview, West Virginia.
I see.
Yeah,
so not far away.
Yeah, it's maybe a 2-hour drive from Forest Dhamma.
Okay.
Yeah.
You saw it in the video.
I saw that there was pictures taken, so it inspired me to get back on the path, because sometimes I can get caught up in work and get caught up in activity. So it's nice to be back in the community today.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
Then we go to the next person, Darren Neo from Singapore.
Hi Ajahn, I have no question today. I'm just sitting in, wishing Ajahn great health always.
Okay, thank you. Alfredo from Brazil. Alfredo,
Hi, Bhante.
how are you? Good?
I'm fine, good, thanks. Today is the Independence Day in Brazil, 7th September.
Independent from what?
Independence of the Independence Day,
From Portugal?
monarchy.
From Portugal?
No, in Brazil.
I know, but independent from Portugal, the rule from Portugal, right? Brazil used to be under the Portuguese monarchy, colony.
Yes.
So you have a war with them and you won on this day.
Yes, the people's not work is holiday today.
Okay.
And the life alone, Bhante, is a good life, né, Bhante? The monk's life alone, the practice life alone. The life alone is Independence Day too, né? Is a
independent from your defilement.
Yes. Good, Bhante, good.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay, nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
Okay, next, Sulan from Singapore.
Yeah, hello. Thank you, Bhante. Thank you, Ajahn. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, perfectly.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I got meditate, and then sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night. Then I just meditate. Like last night I meditated. Then I think I meditated for 20 minutes, but it felt like very long time. So I just opened my eyes. Yeah.
Yes.
Then why is it that when I meditate it feels like very long?
Because you're struggling with your meditation. If you're not struggling, then the time will pass by very quickly.
Oh, okay. So
After a while, when you become more efficient in your meditation, you'll find that the time passes by very quickly.
Very quickly. Okay.
Yeah. But right now you are like going up on uphill struggle. So you find it takes so long just to sit for 20 minutes.
Yeah. Then like it feels very long. Then I will just open my eyes and end the meditation. Then I don't know what I can hold on to sustain the meditation.
Don't pay attention to anything. Just recite the mantra, Bhutto, Bhutto, Bhutto. Then time will pass by very quickly.
Okay. Yeah.
Just keep reciting Bhutto, 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 Bhutto.
Okay.
And once you get immersed with the Bhutto, time will pass by very quickly.
Okay.
What did you use when you meditate before?
I use Bhutto.
But
Then
not continuously.
yeah, like I Bhutto. Then I think then sometimes I get caught up with the thoughts. Then I will also I try to put breathing in, then to breathing out, then put breathing in to breathing out, like this.
I think you are losing concentration. It's better to stick with one if it's possible. But if you switch, then you should stick to that one. Don't switch back and forth.
Okay. So I should focus on Bhutto,
On your breath.
Bhutto.
If after a while you're reciting Bhutto and you feel tired, you might want to switch to the breath. It's okay. But once you switch to the breath, then you should just stick with the breath.
Oh, okay. Because right now it's like very natural or like become a habit that when I breathe in, then breathe out, then it's to. So I kind of struggle to split it apart.
You can do them separately. You can just use Bhutto alone, or you can just watch the breath alone. Maybe it's easier that way.
Okay. So when I Bhutto, I just imagine I hear the sound of Bhutto.
Yeah, just be aware of Bhutto, Bhutto, and nothing else.
Okay.
Just like when you're talking, you're aware of what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
Okay. When you recite Bhutto, just be aware of Bhutto, Bhutto, Bhutto. Don't stop. You can do fast or you can do slow, any pace you like. If you feel a little bit tired, you can do a bit slower. Bhutto, Bhutto, Bhutto. But don't lose the Bhutto. Because as soon as you lose it, then your thoughts start coming in.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Anything else?
Yeah, I think because I think I realized that I think on in my life I feel like I'm on the receiving end of like people upset at me. Then after that, I also feel very sad. Then after that, on the other hand, I'm also upset at other people. Then so it's like a vicious cycle. I feel like I'm trapped.
Everybody wants to express their anger. So anybody close by will be the receiving end of their anger. Vice versa, you also express your anger at other people.
Yeah.
And other people also express anger at you. Because it's the world where people don't know how to restrain their anger. So they have to relieve their anger somehow, either by saying something or doing something.
Yeah.
So just accept it. This is the way of the world that we live in. If you don't want to be the receiving end, then just go live alone, like me.
Yeah.
When you live alone, then nobody can express their anger at you. Because you're not there to receive it.
Yeah. then like how do I not like how can I restrain myself? Like I think if I'm on the receiving end,
Just think of it like
then
receiving rain, the sun. You receive the rain, the sun all the time, and you don't feel bad because you know you cannot stop them, right? You cannot stop the rain. So look at anger from other people like rain or wind. You cannot stop them. So let them come, let them show their anger. So what?
Yeah, that's true.
The problem is you want people to show kindness. You want people to give you praises and say nice things to you. So when you don't get it, you feel bad. But if you don't expect anything from anybody, then you don't feel bad. Whatever they throw at you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then how do I don't, as in how can I restrain myself so that I don't also vent my anger?
You have to practice a lot of meditation. Get your mind to upekkha. When your mind has upekkha, then it will not react to whatever comes into your mind. You will just smile back and say, okay, that's life, So try to meditate more, because without meditation, you will not be able to restrain yourself.
So I'll meditate more.
Yeah. 20 minutes is very little. You should practice more than that. But for a start, 20 minutes is good. But you should extend it to 30, 40, 50, 1 hour. In order to be able to sit longer, you need to have more mindfulness. So you should recite Buddha more than just during meditation. You recite Buddha before. You can recite Buddha all day long. Try to do it. Yeah. When you don't have to think about anything, just recite Buddha, Buddha, Buddha.
Okay.
Then when you sit, you'll find that you can sit for a long time. Okay?
Yeah, okay.
All right.
Yeah. Thank you, Ajahn.
Next, Rusli from Indonesia.
Evening, Ajahn. No question tonight, Ajahn. Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay. Akash from India. Akash.
Good evening, Ajahn. I don't have any questions. I'm just listening in. Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay. Next, Miss Galaxy A550.
Good evening, Ajahn. Hi, how are you?
Good, thank you. You're from London, right?
No, I'm from Canada. This is Amina.
Canada. This is your first time here?
No, we met. I know you for many years. I'm Anita's friend. Remember, like I've been listening to your talks on Facebook instead of logging in onto Zoom. So I've been listening to you since 1.5 years ago when you started it.
Okay. Didn't recognize you.
Yeah. Better.
Okay.
I have for the past 1.5 years, since COVID started, I spent a lot of time alone, and not all of it was by my choice. It's just like life kind of gave me a lot of solitude. So I've been alone for the past 1.5 years, and I spend most of it alone. And in my practice meditation, it got to the point that I was feeling that I cannot make any decisions. I cannot make any plan. And even if I was making any plan, it wasn't going forward with it. And it was kind of like a sentence in a way of like, I had to just be patient and meditate and endure. So it wasn't very easy. It was very tough for me. And especially wintertime here in Canada, I had a very tough winter. And but for the past few weeks, 3-4 weeks, seems life is just opening up. and many projects, many opportunities for connecting, and many opportunities for getting involved with people and getting to do something is happening. So my question is, should I recluse back into that solitude or be open to what is happening? What's your suggestion, please?
Well, if you can be alone and happy, then you would choose being alone better. Because when you have to deal with people, you won't be as happy as you being alone. But since you asked this question, it means that you're not happy being alone. So you want
to be
to
honest, like part of it was very difficult, like especially wintertime, it was very, very difficult. It was actually like painful even, because it's like that sense of loneliness was so strong, and then as summer proceed here and and I started enjoying it, then I was like becoming more calm, and I was like getting really happy with my loneliness. And then now suddenly things are just happening one after another. So so as soon as I was happy, it was taken away from me.
Yes, this is temptation. See? Temptation to lure you into the trap of the defilement.
Yes.
You probably get, when you go out, you probably feel good at first, but after a while you'll find that it's the same old thing.
Yes. And can I tell you a little bit about some of the involvements I have right now? Do you have time?
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know if you're following the news. There's a lot of stuff happening in Afghanistan right now.
Okay.
And my origin background is also from there, even though I grew up in the West most of my life. So there was a lot of project in terms of helping out people, and also outreaching, and also doing some sort of petitions for peace and things like this. It's just, I'm not even inviting these. It's just people who know me and they're contacting me and they want my involvement. And it's very close to my heart in many ways, because I've been very distant and far from that culture and from that place. And now suddenly it's requiring my attention. And I genuinely hope for peace, and I genuinely care for these people. But at the same time, I have my responsibility for myself and my peace of mind. So I don't know how to proceed.
The way to proceed is to look at the world as always changing, never the same. There's always be turmoil, be problems. No matter how much you solve them, you solve this problem, then a new problem will come up. Look at World War I, you try to solve the problem. Then when you think you have solved the problem, came World War II. Now you have wars in different places all over the world. This is the nature of the world. There's no way that you can bring total peace, permanent peace in this world.
Yes.
So it's like wasting your time, because you can find something better for yourself. You can find peace for yourself.
Yes.
So to speak like this, it sounds like you are selfish, But we're all selfish, right? We always have to look after ourselves first. Right? You have to be happy first before you can make other people happy.
Yes.
Right? So follow the example of the Buddha. He was a prince, and he could do a lot for the kingdom that he lives in. But he probably saw with wisdom that it's only short-lived. Whatever he did for the kingdom, eventually it will be replaced by something else as time passes on. And everything will be back to the same old thing. So he thought this is not the way. So he discovered that the real peace is in himself, the peace of mind that he experienced from meditation. So he thought that's the way for him. So he decided to leave the monastery, the palace, and then went in search for permanent peace. because the peace that he had was just temporary, was short-lived when he meditated. But he wanted something more lasting. But he knew that the only way is to become a monk or a meditator. So that's how he eventually succeeded and find permanent peace and happiness within himself. Once he found that, then he can then share this truth with other people.
Yes.
And teach. And this truth existed for 2,500 years or so, and had helped many people to find peace, find real peace and happiness, permanent peace and happiness. So I think if you think like this, then you'll find that the place to solve the problem is first within your heart, within your mind. So bring peace and happiness into your mind. Once you have that, then you can then share it with other people. Like I'm sharing with you now. I don't advocate to do anything externally. Like you can do it, but it's short-lived. Everything that you do for the world, it will never solve anything. Because everything is cyclical. Everything will come back like again and again. You will have war, you will have disputes, you will have problems. You solve it, and then new problem, new disputes will come back up again. Never ending. It's been like this before we came into this world, and it will be like this after we leave this world. If you think like this, then you can make the decision to go and live alone and do your practice.
Yes.
But if you think you can do something for the world, then you might not be able to live. Okay.
Yes.
So I think the best example is the Buddha. He's our role model that we should look up to. Sometimes we just forget.
Buddha got successful after 6 years. I've been doing this for many years and I'm still nowhere.
Because you haven't committed yourself fully. See? You're only just an amateur practitioner, not a full-time practitioner. If you're full-time, you should be living in a monastery right now as a meshi or as a bhikkhuni.
I tried many times. It's just.
But you fail. You gave
I
up.
was never.
When you're faced with difficulty, you're faced with stress, you give up. You retreat. See? So you shouldn't retreat. You just try to. When you are faced with stress, you should use Dhamma practice to deal with it, not to run away from your Dhamma practice. Maybe try it again.
I'll
Next
try.
round might be successful.
I mean, the COVID kind of like destroyed all of those planning, and it's just like kind of put me in a pigeonhole, So, but I wasn't in a monastery, but I was in isolation for the past 18 months. So.
Yeah, you should try to stay on if you can. Consolidate your gain rather than losing them.
And as soon as I got comfortable with it, it's just like snatched away.
The defilements start coming out. See.
Yes.
Okay.
I have a practical question. It's regarding karma. When bad things happen, is it always because of bad karma?
No, not always. Because it's a changing nature of things in this world. See? They keep changing from good to bad, bad to good.
Yes.
It's not only karma. There are other conditions that can cause things to go sour, to go bad. But the real karma, the consequence of the karma is how you react to this event. See? If you react negatively, unhappily, then this is the result of your bad karma. But if you don't react at all, then this is the result of your good karma. That means you have practiced meditation before, you had equanimity, so you can just, you can just face this bad situation calmly and peacefully. These are the result of your karma. See? How you react to the bad situation or the good situations. If you react, then it's considered bad karma. If you don't react, then it's good karma.
Yes. So me reacting to loneliness or isolation in the beginning negatively was my bad karma. Now it's just my karma is getting better.
Better, yeah, you create more equanimity. See?
Yes.
So you can deal with your loneliness. You can deal with your being alone.
Yes. Thank you very much.
You should maintain it. Don't lose it, because once you start to go out meeting people, then you will lose this equanimity, and then the next time around you will then be in the same boat again. You will feel bad again when you're alone.
Yes.
So once you can stay alone, why not keep staying alone?
To be honest, it wasn't even my choice. Like I tried not to be alone. It's just like this time was given to me.
Yes.
I'm very grateful.
Yeah, but
Yes.
then it shows you the way, the right way of living, which is to live alone. I mean, you live alone, but you also meet people from time to time, but not all the time.
Yes.
You only deal with people when you have to, but otherwise you will spend most of your time being alone.
Yes.
Because there's nothing like peace of mind. You can have billions of dollars and it won't buy you peace of mind. Loneliness will buy you peace of mind. Solitude. But it costs you a lot of stress before you can get there. But once you get there, it's worth the effort, worth the price.
Yes. Yes. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay. Is that all?
Tomorrow is my birthday.
Your birthday, tomorrow.
Yes.
You should look forward to a no birthday. Birthday is not good, because with birth you have aging, sickness, and death. It's not for me to give you any blessing on your birthday. I can only wish you. I can only wish you this is your last birth.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu to my last birthday.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're living in Toronto?
I live close to Toronto. I live in a small town close to Toronto. Yes.
Okay. You still in touch with Anita and
I haven't seen her in person for a long time, but through Zoom from time to time. Yes.
Okay. You still have any Dhamma meeting?
There are meetings on Mondays. Yes, there are meetings through Zoom. So
okay.
Even though I don't know why, since COVID started, I'm not very comfortable with the video chats on the Zoom. So I don't enjoy being on the screen. So I try to just be on the periphery. So I'm always listening rather than participating.
Okay. All right. Nice talking to you.
Very nice talking to you. Thank you very much. And thank you for your well wishes. And
Okay.
Last
birth. Last birth.
Last birth.
Okay.
Last birth and last birthday.
Not the same, last birthday. Well, yeah, same thing. Yeah. Last birth and last birthday. No more birthday coming.
Thank you very much.
All right. Because birth is suffering. The Buddha said birth is suffering. With birth come aging, sickness, and death.
Yes.
Good. Then we go to Evie from Indonesia. Evie?
Ya, Ajan. Nama Budaya, Ajan.
Any question today?
Can Ajan hear me?
Yes, perfectly.
Oh, Ajan, sometimes when I meditate, sometimes I start to wander with this body. I compare my body with a corpse. Both are complete. The internal organ all is complete. But the difference is I still can move, but the corpse is no move again. Who is moving this body? Is the five khandha, spirit, essence? This is beyond the scientific. Maybe I have not meet my real me. Can I meet the real me? Is there my real figure or nothing?
You have to meditate until you get to jhana. Then you'll find your real you. in the knower, the mind, is the real you. But it's not a you, it's not an I, it's just a knower, a
And
thinker.
then Ajahn said there is no self.
Yes, a knower is not a self, a thinker is not a self, it's just like a rain. The rain doesn't have a self, it just falls. No one, the wind doesn't have a self. So it is the thinker or the knower, so it's the same thing like the rain and the wind.
Mm. And sometimes if I meet someone who is restless, so I keep have a question for myself: who is restless? Who is happy? Is this a self? Who regulated restlessness and pleasure? Everything is just empty. But why does the world get so much commotion?
Because the mind is restless. The mind has no peace, no happiness. So it then
And they live in the world, and
and
the
it
world
looks
gets so much
it
commotion.
looks for happiness in the world, and in the process it creates a lot of activities, create a lot of conflicts, and so forth.
That is so noisy. So have so much problem.
Right.
So yeah.
If you can
And
meditate and become happy, then you won't do anything. Then you won't get involved with anybody.
yeah, I didn't get involved with them, but sometimes they went to me, and I see they are very nervous and they asking for my advice. I give advice on a neutral basis, like don't expect people to be nice to you, and don't blaming yourself, but look at you what you're doing, because will turn out to be like in the end, blah blah blah. But they seems like not very accepting with my answer, because they want to hear me defend them and say bad things about their opponent, but I don't. So the reaction of them is not accepting this suggestion is because the defilement, Ajahn.
Yes,
Because
because of their delusion, they cannot understand what you're trying to tell them.
yes, it's so simple, but why they cannot see it?
Because
Is
of
the
the delusion blocking them.
The defilement.
And their
Block.
desire, the desire to get even with people who hurt them.
Yeah. And my question today is how to deal with a very controlling future in-law, because my sister-in-law this morning faced this problem. The future in-laws called his son for being refused, didn't respect to her as a mother, such as speaking rudely and daring to argue. All the words that came out from this mother mouth were like insinuating the sister-in-law as, since my son has been dating with you, his nature has changed to be difficult arranged. Actually not. According to the sister-in-law, she didn't manage it. His son was tired of being regulated by his mother, so he fight back. And finally, the three of them experienced this commotion, and the sister-in-law relented, and finally she asked to break up. How to deal with these people if she meet other people with the same nature like this again, Ajahn?
Well, tell her ask her how she deals with the rain and the wind.
It's easy to say lah, but they will not accept this suggest, Ajahn. They will not. They, like I said earlier, they will not accept this suggestion.
Then just tell them that to leave alone if they don't want to have any more problems.
They will not accept it too.
No, that's too bad. Then what can you do then?
Yeah. So it's very hard to teach, not teach some.
Like
Suggest them
when
very
you
hard.
when you eat poison, what happened to your body? your body become poison, right? Become sick.
Yeah.
So stop eating the poison. It's same thing with your mind. The mind becomes sick because it has to deal with other people. So if you don't want to become sick, then don't deal with people. Live alone.
That is too deep, lah, Ajahn. So I must find the suggestion with normal people talking like, very hard to find that suggestion who is they want to accept, Ajahn. How to say in my term of Dhamma?
Yeah, if you cannot teach them, then just forget about it.
Just quiet and no suggest for them. Just let them alone. It's very pity them.
Yeah,
Very
it's their karma that they will have to go and face all this dukkha because they cannot accept the teaching of the Buddha.
Yeah, it's very hard to explain to them. I cannot find the right speech to explain to them. They
It's like speaking to somebody who cannot hear you. What do you do when you speak to someone who cannot hear you? You stop speaking, right?
But they sometimes came to me and I give advice. They cannot accept
Okay,
it.
so like they cannot hear you because they don't hear your advice.
Yeah, Ajahn. So I pity to looking them.
Okay.
Yeah, Ajahn.
All right.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Let me see. We have Robert Ryan. He's not on video yet. Are you listening, Robert? You want to come in? Haven't seen you for a while. Okay. No. Rangmalai, you want to say something from Thailand?
No question, พระอาจารย์
Okay.
Just only one thing that I would like to know about the definition about the ubekha and ignore.
Ignore.
Yeah.
Well, ignore is not to. It's forcing yourself to not respond. So ignore. But with ubekha, you don't force yourself. You just merely in neutral position. You don't want to do anything at all. No reaction. By ignoring sometimes means that you try to force yourself from reacting to something.
Right. And it's very hard to use as well because of when I work at I do at work, and it seems that somebody said that why you ignore, but because of I try to use the ubekha or for some action.
Yes, because you don't have real ubekha. So if you have real ubekha, then you don't react to whatever they say either. They can say anything, they can do anything, they can react to your ubekha, and you just leave them alone. So.
Right. Okay. Do more practice.
Okay. All right. Let me go to a Facebook question and Facebook page. Ula, is she here this time? We notice. Ula.
Yes, we have 6 questions from Facebook, Tanajan.
Okay.
First question from Lodi. Pante, I want to ask. Dhamma said we must respect older people, but Dhamma also said we must respect who deserve respect. I want to ask, what if the situation that person is older, but he doesn't deserve to be respected, like they have bad behavior? How can we handle this situation? Anumodan Pante.
Well, you have to separate the two things. People who's older than you have more maturity than you are. So we respect them for the maturity. Okay. We give them the courtesy of respect, let's put it that way. If the person if a mature person, an older person doesn't behave well, then you still respect out of courtesy. You don't show any disrespect. But you also know that this person is a bad person. So you don't want to be close to that person or to have any dealing with that person.
Next question from Liu Ying Meng. When does a meditator, while meditating on samatha meditation, switches to vipassana meditation? What the sign and condition to indicate?
No switching when you do meditation. You just meditation, no contemplation. You do meditation until your mind becomes calm, peaceful, and let it remain in that peaceful state for as long as possible until you finish, until you come out of meditation. Once you're not meditating anymore, then you can do contemplation.
Next question from Paul Zu. Can we practice vipassana concept in our daily life activity, like aware and investigate the case that's happening?
Yes, you can look at everything as anicca, impermanent. Everything is temporary. Your job is temporary. Your relationship with your family is temporary. Your money is temporary. Everything is temporary. Sooner or later, you're gonna be separated from them.
Next question from Tony. Ajahn, good evening. How to maintain mindfulness without lost it in our daily life?
Keep reciting Bhutto, Bhutto, Bhutto.
Next question from Eddie Gan. Ajahn, how can we reduce the expectation because it leads disappointment and dukkha? Thank you.
Just look at everything like you look at the weather. You cannot expect them. They're not predictable. So try to see everything as a natural phenomena, like the wind and the rain. Then you don't expect much from anything, from anybody, because you cannot expect anything certainly, not certain. Everything is not certain.
Next question from Tony. Ajahn, good evening. Practicing mindfulness, should it keep to be nature instead of focusing hardly on it? Thank you.
Again, please.
To practice the mindfulness, should it keep to be nature instead of focusing hardly on it? Thank you.
You mean to be natural rather than forcing it?
Yes.
Well, if you don't force it on the mind doesn't want mindfulness. So you need to force it. Like children, you have to teach them to do something, and you have to make sure that they do it. If you don't force them, then if you leave them alone, then they'll just do anything they want to do. Same thing with the mind. The mind doesn't like to concentrate, doesn't want to focus. The mind likes to dream, likes to fantasize, likes just to think endlessly about nothing.
Last question from CK. Thank you very much for your teaching. I have hard time to find contact point of breath with nostril. Breath in, I can see clear at that point, at same point. Breath out, I see clear at the other contact point. If I change to Bhutto, will I still be practicing for foundations of mindfulness? According to my understanding, anapanasati is contemplation of the body, but reciting Bhutto, I do not know which foundation of mindfulness I'm working on, body or citta or dhamma. Thank you very much.
You can consider it to be citta, the mind. The mind recite Bhutto, Bhutto, Bhutto.
And one question just come to Ajahn from Lagan. How important is sutta reading over meditation and dana to develop the jhana and peace in mind? Is developing jhana alone through meditation sufficient in Dhamma practice? Thank you.
If you can, then it's sufficient. But if you don't know how to do it, then you have to study the sutta, the teaching of the Buddha, how to do meditation. Once you know what to do, then you have to then do it. Okay.
That's all. Thanks, Ajahn.
All right. Somebody raised their hand, 2 of them. Felicia, iPad, you're first. Where you from?
Yes. Hello. Good evening, Brother Ajahn. I'm Felicia from Malaysia. Can Ajahn hear me?
Yes, very good. Very well.
Sorry, my English not very good. I use the simple English and ask question. I have some question in meditation. I would like to ask Brother Ajahn. Now I meditate with samadhi. My breathing and body display, shut down the mind and stop the thinking. I'm very calm, very happy, very clear. What should I continue to do in this case, Brother Ajahn?
Just stay that way for as long as possible. Keep it like that for as long as possible. When the mind becomes calm, try to maintain it for as long as possible. Don't stop meditating. Continue on for as long as possible. And do a lot until you become proficient. Until you can do it anytime you want. You can enter into the state anytime you want.
Okay. Every 3 hours, about 3 hours, I will automatically enter the samadhi.
Okay, good.
And then 4 to 6 times every time per day lah, I meditate. The maximum is 6 times. The 4 to 6 times lah, I meditate a day.
Yes, good. You can meditate all day long. There's no harm to do meditation. The more you do, the calmer your mind becomes, the more stable your mind becomes, the more happy you become.
I like meditate very much because automatic I enter the samadhi. About less than 3 hours, automatic I enter samadhi already. That's why I have to sit down and meditate lah.
Okay, good.
Okay.
If you can make your mind calm and stable and happy, then this is the goal of meditation.
Brother Ajahn, do you think I have a 5 jhana factor?
You have jhana? If your mind is calm, then you have jhana.
Okay. That means I already have 5 jhana factor.
5 jhana factors. It depends on it depends on which level of jhanas you have. So, do you have any equanimity? Can your mind become just neutral, not reacting to anger, to greed, to fear, or to delusion?
I'm not really understand. Sorry, I just asked about my question.
Can you still get angry when somebody says something not nice to you?
Very happy, no. It is a very it's really not like last time. It's a very messy mind. Even though my eat food also not very like, and then what to say, I don't, because my English not very good. Not so I feel very happy lah. And then I don't know what happened lah. And then very happy every time. I feel very happy like that lah.
If you can be happy all the time, then this is good. Regardless of what other people do or say, and you still can be happy, then this is good. That's what you want to train your mind to be. Not to be disturbed or affected by what other people say or do to you.
Okay. But every about not 3 hours like that, automatic go to samadhi. That's why I no place to go out lah. I just if I want to samadhi, then I sit down samadhi like that lah. I meditate lah. Like today 4 times yesterday also sit time. Every time also meditate. Is it okay, Ajahn?
Well, did it make you happy?
Happy?
Yeah. Were you happy? Okay. If it's happy, then it's okay.
Okay, sadhu.
You can do more than that, 10 times, 20 times if you like. Better than watching TV or eating give you overweight. watching TV can make you sad or unhappy.
But people say I feel happy, even though the COVID-19, I feel nothing, you know.
Yeah, good, good. Then
Is it abnormal?
no, this is normal. But for normal people, they think this is abnormal.
People say want to vaccine. I said no need. I no scared everything, no.
That's right. Yeah, good, good. Keep doing it. Okay.
And then my friend, all of them is I'm something wrong.
Yes, you are different from them, so they think there's something wrong.
I already 8% for quite some time.
Yes.
And then is it I don't want to drink after the time. Let's say before 1 o'clock I finish my food. And then a lot of my friends say maybe about evening time, afternoon like that, have a drinks. But I no need. Is it okay or not? My
Yes,
friend
good. You don't need anything at all. Just drink plain water.
My friend said do one day 1 meal, then afternoon no drink at all, then the no good for the body. But I myself okay, no. I just keep continue like that. Is it okay?
Yes, yes, perfectly okay. Good for you. The
Okay,
less you drink, the better. I mean, the drinks, I mean beverages. So just drink plain water. You need water. You need to drink a lot of water, but not beverages or fruit juices or anything like that.
Even though 1 day 1 meal, when the time I eat, I not really like to eat. No, I see my feel. I can feel my feeling. I'm not really like to eat. I just eat. Then I see already the feeling enough. I feel very happy, or I can stop the food. No, I not really like to eat. No, because our body want to eat. I eat lah. Then eat. I can feel my feeling. When I feel the food is the enough, then I stop the food. I very happy, I don't want to continue to eat.
Good. It's like taking medicine. You just take the food like medicine. Just eat for the body, not eat for your pleasure.
But any taste to me is is don't mind and what taste also don't mind. When I eat I know the taste good or not, or bad. I know, but I'm not like go and just the taste or what I like. I don't have lah.
Yes,
and
because you have ubekas and you have samadhi. Samadhi will make your mind not having any desire for this thing.
Okay, sadhu. When I eat, I see, I can feel my feeling. I'm not like I will not like the food or not, because the timing I want to eat, then I eat. Because after 1 o'clock, I eat pizza. I no more eat. There's all the time I have to eat, then I eat. When I see, I can feel the food and then the enough the feeling I can feel it I very happy. I can see the feeling enough then I want to stop already. I don't want to continue.
It's good for you. Then you have no problem with eating.
Okay, sadhu. So, Brother Ajahn, you get me? Is it that I still want to continue the like in this case for longer like this and practice?
Yes. Sit as long as possible, longer as possible.
No need to do vipassana and see the rupa.
You can do that when you're not sitting. When you're not sitting, you can look at your body as anicca, as not yourself.
Okay.
One day your body will dissolve into the 4 elements, into water, fire, wind, and air, wind and earth.
Okay.
There's no self. Your body is not you. You just use the body like you're using a servant.
Okay, sadhu. What about after meditate, when I walking and all the time in my life, what I do, I just put sati like that, no?
Sati, or you can, if you like, you can all think of the body, think of the 32 parts of the body.
Okay, I can see my mind with my body together.
Yes.
Is it like this practice?
No, you have to see the impermanent nature of your body. Your body will get old, get sick, and die. Your body is not beautiful because inside the skin, under the skin, there are lots of other things that you cannot see with your eyes.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Ajahn.
All right. You're
Okay.
welcome.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Okay. Next, Kyuyan Dong.
Ajahn, I found today's talk so excellent. I wanted to never end. As we've been talking about it, I remember that the Buddha said that on this path, the only two things that make you fail is either you don't tread on the path or you give up, right?
Yes.
Regardless of how old you are, how weak you are.
We can do it. You can do it. Age is no problem.
And so, like, you cannot keep the cake and eat it. You can, like, it's better to lose everything and try it rather than trying to cling to both of them.
No, you cannot have both. You cannot have both. But when you first started, you can have half and half. But eventually, you will then want to choose which side you want to go.
Right.
When you're first starting right now, you can be a temporary practitioner. Maybe you find some time to go live alone for 10 days, for 20 days, and then come back, then go back again, back and forth, until you find that being alone is better than working and being with people. Then you might want to make it permanent.
Yeah. And also, like, before you said that the habits, like left hand, right hand, liking blue or red, it's from the past lives.
Yes.
How come the habit to practice? It's so much harder to go to the next life.
Because you didn't practice, you didn't have any before, so you don't have anything with you when you come. See, you never practice, so you find it difficult to practice now. But for some people who used to practice, they find it easy for them to practice. See, that's why you have people who can become monks and mechi easily, and you find that there are people who find it difficult to become monks or mechi. Just like the lady Felicia, she said she can meditate all day. Can you do that? So it's something she already had before, so it's easy for her to do it. It's like playing the violin, playing the piano, or being an artist. This is something that you had developed before in your previous lives. So when you're born in this life, you can do it right away. You can be a child, 6-year-old, and play the violin or play the piano or draw some pictures. That's because your mind had already achieved this ability. It's the same way when sitting meditation. The Buddha said when he was young, about 6, he was living alone, sitting under a tree, and all of a sudden his mind became still. See? That's because he had done it before.
Yeah.
So if you haven't got anything before, you should do it now. So that maybe in your future life or maybe in the future years, you can then meditate and become a full-time practitioner. You have to start somewhere, and the best time is to start now. See? Now is the best time to start anything. Don't procrastinate. Don't kick the bucket down the road. You keep kicking it down the road. Once you get down there, you kick it again. So you will never start. Like me, when I start my meditation practice, I've been studying for a few months. Then one day I asked myself, "You've been learning all this thing about meditation. How come you're not doing it?" And I said, "Yeah, that's right. Maybe now is the time for me to do it." So I started doing it right away. So you have to commit yourself to the practice. The sooner, the better, because time is running out for every one of us. Okay. All right. Next, Darren from Singapore.
Hi, Jen. I have a question now. May I ask for Ajah's advice? Because sometimes because I'm working now, sometimes work get heavy and there's a lot of thinking process and sometimes meeting we need to communicate and the mindfulness lapse. So I want to ask for Ajah's advice in terms of when we are working, how can we sustain the mindfulness? Thank you.
You have to take time off, like when you play basketball. After a while, they have to take time off to rest, to regenerate the energy. So if you feel that you're overloading, then you should stop and then go to the bathroom for 15 minutes just to be alone and calm your mind. Okay. That's all. You just have to find time to have a circuit breaker, Like when you think it's overloading, then the circuit breaker will stop the electricity. Okay. Maybe you can go to the bathroom and sit and then meditate for 15 minutes. Calm your mind down. Rest your mind for a while. Maybe not completely resting, but at least slow it down to the point where you then can manage your mind better.
Okay, I'll share Ajah. You're right, I should take a break.
Okay. Sometimes our work and our ambition force us to keep working until, to the extreme. Instead of being productive, it becomes counterproductive, both your work and your mind.
Thank you, Ajah, for the advice. I'll try. Thank you.
Anybody has any question? Because we are about almost out of time. We're now 2 hours fully. If you have any question, you can raise your hand and turn off the microphone. I guess not everybody is happy. Everybody has all the question answered, more or less, for today. Oh, somebody, Evie. Okay, Evie. I hope this is a question, not just a commentary on your part. Okay, unmute your microphone.
Ajahn, whether thinking as I described earlier is part of wisdom, to have wisdom, do we have to have jhana first?
No, you can have wisdom before, but wisdom without jhana cannot get rid of your defilement. You can think of in anicca, this is wisdom. You can think of anatta, this is wisdom. You can think of dukkha, this is wisdom. But without jhana, you cannot let go of the objects that causing you dukkha, like your husband, your family.
So we have to samadhi a lot first,
Right.
and
If you have jhana and samadhi, then you can leave your husband, leave your family.
Because when I meditate, I often has experience. There are so many there are many solutions and answers that appeal for several things. I feel like I am being teach by my meditation. After being satisfied with the teaching, the lesson teach me, the mind will stop by itself, and I begin to understand, to see more clearly what is happening in this world, such as knowing and understanding people's distress, seeing people as in this world like wearing a mask. Why do people suffer so much? They seem to be hiding something and much more. What is the name of my condition, Ajahn? Is this the contemplation? of
This is delusion on your part, not being able to see the truth.
After all this past, my mind will be silent, sometimes entering a bright and clear light and happiness and satisfaction, but must go through this condition first, like I described earlier first.
You haven't seen dukkha in people and things yet. As soon as you see dukkha in them, then you will then detach from them. You still see them as give you happiness, so you still cling to them. But as soon as you see them as being like a poisonous snake, then you'll get away from them right away.
Yeah, I know they like hiding something. I know, just know, all I know, and I know, I understand.
Okay.
But,
Okay.
okay, Ajahn, I know.
All right. I think that's about all the time we have for tonight. Unless anybody still want to ask another question, if not, I will have to bring this meeting to an end. Thank you very much for your participation. I hope that you have learned something and benefit yourself and help advance you in your practice. In the meantime, please stay safe, stay healthy, stay mindful. And if nothing happens, I will see you again next week. Thank you and goodbye.
สาธุเจ้าค่ะ
สาธุค่ะ
Dear Ajahn, thank you.
Thank you พระอาจารย์
Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye. Good night.
Bye, Amin.